Well, Callum, our expectations were low, but holy fuck, how bad was that?
That was very bad. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm sure you can see Glenn's taken the defeat very, very well. If you're tuning in on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. I know people will probably enjoy this one of other clubs, so make sure you get notifications on. There might be more to come in future. And follow us wherever you're listening in as well. Thought we'll get that in nice and early. You enjoy that this afternoon, Glenn? Nice Sunday?
Well, it's a beautiful Sunday outside, but it was not a beautiful Sunday watching Aberdeen, that's for sure.
No, Dundee United will enjoy it though. That's their thing, isn't it? Beautiful Sunday.
Yeah, it is.
It's an odd start to this show. I don't even know where this is going to go. Strap in, folks.
Yeah, strap in, because it's been a while since we've done a full-time reaction video, but I feel needs must after this result. And, you know, the season's over now for us. We just needed one more point to secure fourth in the league. Third place, I suppose, mathematically still there to be fought over, but on the basis of today, boy, is the last two results papered over a lot of cracks, Colin.
Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? There was. I'm trying to think of any positives from today's game. Maybe we won't get embarrassed in the next round at Hampden. That's all I can really think of, to be honest.
We don't need to pay for any more games. I know it was on BBC today, but semi-finals would have been on Premier Sports.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose we'll get a free weekend on the Scottish Cup semi-final weekend. So we'll upload the Cammy Smith interview for then, so you can all enjoy that and just forget about Aberdeen actually playing football. Yeah,
sorry for those of you that were looking forward to having that released this week, but on the back of the instant reaction coming out tonight, it will mean that we'll do our preview for the Livingston game through the week, so it pushes Cammy Smith back. But when there's no Dons to play, we'll fill that void with some content of our own. But yeah, we're just totally outplayed today. The first Scottish Cup defeat at home since Mark McGee's side were embarrassed by Raith Rovers in the replay. Derek McInnes never lost a domestic cup competition in his time at Aberdeen. Home cup game, I should say. Stephen Glass fails at the second attempt to keep that record going. But the first 10-15 minutes, you know, Callum Hendry should have squared it to Lewis Ferguson, who was wide open, and Mehmet has two good saves from Kennedy, and I think it was Hendry on the follow-up. But after that, it was just disaster after disaster.
Yep, very little of note happened for us going forward after that. I felt maybe we could have taken one of those chances, maybe Hendry's, but at the end of the day, great double save from Mehmet. And that sort of summed up our day. He was on form. We were so lackluster, so slow. There's just nothing going on for us, really, was there? Nothing, no positive, really.
Yeah, but you say he's on form. We didn't do anything to test him.
Well, but I'm saying in those two, to get up a double save, nice and quick there.
Aye, but that's like, 10 minutes into the game? We've still got 8 more minutes.
That's what I'm saying. That's all he had to do, and he did it. That's how he was on form. That's all he had to do. 2 saves, that's it.
It's just so frustrating, and Canberry, I don't know what he's thinking, wearing Under Armour and gloves on probably the hottest day of the year so far. And, you know, fair play to him managing to last 90 minutes for what was an awful waste of a shirt, because every time the ball came near him, his inability to hold the ball up looked like costing us, then ended up costing us, Callum.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, never mind fair play for him being able to stay on for 90 minutes. Fair play for fucking fooling us all this time, and the fact he's actually a footballer. Useless today, giving the ball away. I've lost count to how many times he gave the ball away, and then as you say, it did end up costing us.
Yeah, I know there's many Hibs fans that tune into this show on YouTube, and like you said at the start, probably fans of other teams that will be enjoying this meltdown incoming, but will be none surprised at the performance of Canberry going missing. But speaking of going missing, was Johnny Hayes on King Street when that ball went forward for Mark McNaughtley giving them a lead? Because yes, Considine was positionally all over the shop. Where's your left back?
I know. I'll insert that photo of Considine today for the viewers watching at home on YouTube. Because, oh my word, it was terrible. But yeah, Considine decided to leave McNulty. But prior to that, I mean, Johnny Hayes just posted absolutely missing. Okay, he got an assist against Livingston, but he has been probably the worst of the re-signings out of him, Ash Taylor, and Niall McGinn. Niall McGinn's probably running close. Yeah.
But we
say running. Sorry, but using running very loosely there.
Yeah, as we saw in the first half when he could have ran to keep the ball in, but he decided just to slide and painfully knocked it out for a goal kick. But we saw, minutes before when the ball bounced off Canberra's chest and United kind of broke down, but Hayes got back on that chance and blocked it out for a corner. But we just didn't heed any warnings, and it was one-way traffic after the goal. And Tommy Hoban, we called him a Rolls Royce on this show at the start of the season. Gooby's called him a Skoda before. I think he's on the scrap heap after that performance because he looked terrified throughout that first half.
Him and Considine are the slowest centre-back partnership I have seen in a very, very long time. Oh my word, both of them, it's like running treacle. I mean, to be fair, Considine 34 now, so he's old. You expect him to be slowing down. Tommy Hoban, meant to be in the prime of his career. Hopeless. Tommy Hopeless, more like. Yeah,
I mean, today was his 50th appearance for the club, and given I suppose where he was at the start of the season, and all the injury troubles that have gone before him, to make 50 appearances for the club is pretty remarkable in itself. But he's just a shadow of himself recently. In the first half, letting the ball bounce, criminal in the first place, especially when United are playing the high press. You're giving yourself less time to deal with any incoming trouble. And then when under pressure from Shanklin, totally missing the ball. And also, prior to that as well, backing off Shanklin, allowing him to kind of cut in on the right and Shanklin should have got the shot away. Thankfully, the ball got trapped under his foot, but he just looks so uncomfortable. And I don't know whether that's because he's alongside Considine, like you say, who's also equally as slow. Does he need Taylor there to feel confident? Or is he nervous about the youth of Calvin Ramsey on his outside, knowing that he's kind of got to guide Calvin Ramsey through? Is there just too much going on in his head just now?
If anyone should be nervous, it should be Considine, given Hayes is on his side, to be honest. I never thought I'd be I'm trying to think of the word. Just looking forward for Ash Taylor coming back. To be honest,
yearning is the word.
Yearning. I was going to say yawning.
Private education there for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's finally paying off. Bloody hell, it's about time. Looking forward to Ash Taylor being back in the team for some meaningless games before he probably leaves. Stephen Glass or whoever will be recruiting in summer has got some fucking job on their hands, because that lot are a bunch of frauds out there.
And I mean, it's fair to say that today more than highlighted the rebuild job that Stephen Glass has got in his hand, didn't it?
Yep, 100%. I mean, you're looking at Kennedy. Thankfully, Canberra's only on loan, so you don't have to fool anyone into signing him. Who else? Tommy Hoban, nightmare. Considine, nightmare. Niall McGinn, nightmare. I thought if we move him inside, maybe then that'll protect him for being so slow. He doesn't have to be on the wing. Nope, dreadful. Johnny Hayes, geriatric Johnny, totally useless.
And you look at the substitutions that even came on, the last substitution that we made, Michael Ruth coming on, replacing Callum Hendry. You've got Fraser Hornby sitting on the bench. I think that tells you a lot about where the club are viewing for next season. I don't even know if Michael Ruth even touched the ball when he came on. I think he was on the pitch for about 17 minutes. So, I mean, it either tells you how much I paid interest to the last 17 minutes, because I know a lot of you switched off at 3-0 because, like we said, the season was over. The next 3 games feel utterly pointless. We're still going to be doing the watch along on the Hibs game with Michael Monaghan.
Much fucking unbearable there, Jesus. He's been bearable at the best of times, let alone then. Michael's
already delighted at, as he called them, Dundee Hibernian winning today, and he'd already predicted that after Wednesday. He said, because every time we put in a good performance, we follow it up with a shocker. And I think a shocker would be a kind word on the performance today.
Yeah, he was. I mean, Hibs need to win basically one game now of their last 3 because our goal difference is abysmal. So that we're not getting anywhere near them there. And that would also, we'd need to win all 3. And if Rangers are still looking to be unbeaten in the league, we know they're going to it'll be like lamps to the slaughter for us then, won't it?
Yeah. Do you think, though, we spoke about it in the preview show, the fact that United had the joy of, or luxury maybe you could look at it, they're safe in the league this season, rested 6 players midweek against Kilmarnock, did that have a big effect on today's game?
I did think we looked very, very leggy in comparison to them. So off the mark, they were first to every ball, every second ball, every third ball they were getting to. It paid off. I mean, they've basically got the Scottish Cup to focus on now. And I think that showed today, and fair play to them, to be honest. They deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. There's no taking away that the better team won today, and the team that wanted it more, the team that deserved it more, got the right result. But you say that that's all done United have to play for this season. I'd argue that's all we've got left to play for this season. And I don't want to put too much blame on Stephen Glass because, it's not his squad. He's only been here a short time. But for all the talk in the build-up, and both of us are fully behind kind of the build-up that's we've just fallen flat on our faces.
Is Rory watching the highlights in the background there, is he? Watching the game back?
That's his reaction to today's result.
Yeah, make that what you will. I was just crying off camera. Luckily, it dried up before then. But yeah. I mean, I suppose arguably that is all we have to play for. It's just he has a lot of work. There's a lot of work to do to that squad. I've been chopping and changing my mind who needs more major surgery between us and Celtic. I said maybe they did to Colin. Now I'm back on that maybe we do. It was just all shambolic, wasn't it? I'd just play the kids between now and the end of the season. Be as well.
Yeah,
We've got to lose.
The worst thing for me as well was that I thought kind of it was going to be the forward areas that we really needed work on over the summer. Obviously, we know that we'll only have Michael Roof, who I think is probably going to be the only striker signed up for next season. But defensively, I think more than anything, if this is the style of football that we're going to be playing next season, we need a whole new back 4 probably. It's maybe a bit harsh on Calvin Ramsey. Sorry, I apologise there. Because he's only a youngster, but you look at the other 3 today, they were very not up to playing from the back. It was slow, and against a high press that United, and fair play to them, they were very effective in. But when they were being so effective in, why did we not change up? Why did we not decide to change our tactics?
I don't know.
It wasn't working.
No, there didn't seem to be any change of emphasis in the way we were playing whatsoever. And one of the most frustrating things is we can't even drop any of them in the back 4 because there's just no one else fit.
Yeah.
So what else are we meant to do? I just hope that Declan Gallagher contract signed and he didn't see the performance today. Fingers crossed, we can't but hope. But genuinely roll on the return of Ash Taylor. Get those Beckenbauer passes out from the back going. I'm not looking forward to tuning in to us playing Livingston, who, by the way, totally forgot who we were going to be playing. Said it to you, I was like, whoever the fuck we're playing. So
I did genuinely enjoy that when we were describing. Well, we said, we record it full time, and you did say, yeah, we'll do a full time reaction because we'll just do a preview for whoever the fuck we're playing next week. Because and to be fair, for a lot of people, it's going to be tough to tune in for the Livingston game. A point, like we've said, secures 4th place. 3 points, depending on the Hibs result, keeps the race for 3rd alive. But for many now, I kind of feel myself included, although we will still stay committed to the podcast until the end of the season. It's now all eyes on August. And I suppose when we spoke to Colin a couple of shows previous about the Celtic rebuild starting now, you've kind of touched on it there. For us, the rebuild starts now, surely.
I hope so. Get the youngsters in. Get Ethan Ross in as well. Get him playing.
The problem is, so we've seen Gary Woods keep his place today. Were you surprised by that?
Not really, because he can somewhat play with his feet in comparison to Joe Lewis anyway. But then,
even though Joe Lewis is your captain as well,
yeah, that's a contentious decision. I don't know what's going to happen going into next season, whether they will perhaps bring in someone to replace Joe Lewis if they want to play that way, because clearly some of them in there can't play that way, and I'm not confident in Joe Lewis with the ball at his feet either. So it'll be interesting, but I'm not surprised to see Gary Woods start today. But going forward, I don't know, because I mean there was the third goal where it went between his legs. Yeah.
But I mean, he had the save from Fuchs, which is about broke his arm. But I mean, he's really can't do anything about the first or second, because I mean, we haven't even spoke about the shit show that was the second goal.
That set piece, bloody hell, that was abysmal.
I mean, I don't even know who you want to put blame on. I know a lot of people are blaming Dean Campbell for that, because he gives away the free kick and then doesn't really cover himself in glory jumping for the free kick. But Calvin Ramsey is his man at the free kick. He ghosts easily past Calvin Ramsey. But you've got three of them there. Tommy Hoban, I don't even think, leaves the ground. Ferguson barely leaves the ground. And we hark back to the word there, desire. They wanted it more. They deserved it. And if you put in that desire and determination, you get your reward. And Ryan Edwards got his reward, powering the header past Gary Woods.
Mm-hmm. I bet you Colin was watching that laughing at us after we were mocking them for being shit at defending set pieces. And then we go and do that sort of stuff. No, total shambles. I mean, a lot of managers pride themselves on being able to defend set pieces. I know Craig Brown did. Denton McInnes not giving away goals from set pieces. Don't let it happen. We need to work on it. We saw Alan Russell working on them going forward in our favour, and it paid off on Thursday. I hope they've got something up their sleeve for defending them, because that was abysmal. Nothing short of it.
Yeah. And it was just... We've got so much work to do ahead of next season. Were you surprised? Because the game fell over at half-time. Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen a lot of talk online about Glass and his time in Atlanta. Now, I don't really know how much to read into it, given that, you know, a lot of these players are being kind of primed and moulded for moving on to the first team. A lot of these games were high scoring, conceding goals at both ends. We're certainly not going to be complaining about a lack of entertainment next season.
Well, we will if it carries on going like that today. But if we play a bit more like we did maybe against Celtic at times and against Livingston spells, then yes, I'd like to be entertained. That was one of the main gripes for me this season under McInnes. I was just not entertained whatsoever. But then there we have it today. Exact same story, really, isn't it?
But in that situation, let's say the game's kind of gone at half time. Why are we not changing at half time? And also 6 minutes after going 3-0 behind, he then brings on a holding midfielder for a holding midfielder, and takes off Niall McGinn. Mm-hmm. It just change it when the game is. We were so critical of. Yeah, we were so critical on Derek McInnes doing this, being too late, too slow tactically to influence the game, and we saw it again today. And you know, the wait goes on for us to see Aberdeen lifting the Scottish Cup, but both of us will not have seen it in our lifetime yet. I was hoping we didn't this season in terms of the fact that we probably wouldn't be there to see it, but when you still go out of the cup competition, especially in the manner that we did today, it's just totally unacceptable. Yeah,
it's not great. It's just sapped any sort of confidence that I had from Wednesday, just completely out of me. And I'm now back to this apathetic, just nonsense. I just can't be bothered with it, Glenn.
Yeah. But do you think, though, that given, as Colin said, like probably the mindset of the Celtic players, and probably more fool most of us being buoyed by that performance, because as Jonathan Main said quite brilliantly on Twitter, he said more fool, like himself included in this, for being so optimistic for today, because it's the same shite team that's played the whole season.
True. I suppose there's only so much Stephen Glass and Russell can do in such a short period of time. I suppose we need to remember that and not get too downhearted, because it's the same players that whether you want to look at it as McInnes or Glass, or regardless, they weren't playing for McInnes. They're not playing for Stephen Glass now. Clearly, as shown. So major surgery needed in summer going forward. I don't know how many of them will last. Will be here to turn come August.
Yeah, and I think someone else put it on Twitter, and I apologise for not knowing who it was that there shouldn't be a massive overreaction at today's result, because you touched on it there. Stephen Glass only had a couple of weeks to work with the team. We should really only start judging Stephen Glass next season when he's had a summer, which we hope Dave Cormack will back him financially in. Do you kind of agree with that, despite obviously the level of performance and the manner of how we went out there? It should be kind of tempered with in terms of a reaction.
I think a little bit. I don't think that. I think we should still be questioning sort of the changes, the timing of the changes, the lack of change in tactical emphasis from today. But yeah, we should, once it's his squad, once it's his players, once he's had a pre-season to work with them, to drum his ideas into them, then judge them properly. I suppose it's right now we should be thankful that we did get Stephen Glass in before the summer, because he's getting a chance to see who he wants there next season and who is getting the fuck, basically.
Yeah, and that's kind of a point I highlighted, especially at the second goal, because even at the first goal, we saw, like, against Livingston, probably rode our luck at times, got lucky that they didn't finish the game off and making it 2-0. We went up and equalised. But the confidence amongst the squad just wasn't there today. I kind of felt Messrs McGinn, Canberra especially, Matty Kennedy, they just went missing after the first goal. I thought Matty Kennedy, he showed some promise early on the right wing, but when he got moved to the left, marked out the game, quiet. Canberra, it doesn't matter what wing you posted him on, he's not a winger, he's a striker anyway, useless. Niall McGinn, don't even know where he was playing, useless. And I've not even started on the defenders. Hayes, yes, he's energetic going forward. He's supposed to be doing a job as a defender. He's halfway up King Street instead of back on Beach Road defending the goal. Considine towing his caravan, useless. Yeah, Hoban thinking the football's a bomb, useless. Just shocking throughout. And it's so frustrating, given the level of performance and desire that we'd seen in midweek, to just a total shit show today.
Yeah, I think we all sort of bought into that on Wednesday. It was a good result, but I was fully... I think maybe we got a little bit of ahead of ourselves. Maybe slightly, maybe a little bit. Myself 100% concluded probably the worst for it.
At least you can admit it.
Yeah, but it's just any confidence from that has now gone, and that's that result as well. You've got to think that if they're going to still mathematically possible to finish third, however unlikely it actually is, that a result like that's not going to do them any good, is it?
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a big week for the team, Stephen Glass in a way as well, because now I want to see how this squad reacts, because there will be backlash, regardless of people saying don't overreact, give him time. And I as I said, in a way, I do agree with that. But you're right in what you say as well. People should be allowed to vent their frustrations out, and I want to see how we react to a bad result like this, because Stephen has talked the talk, in his pre-match comments about. I think he was asked how much of an opportunity was this going to be for Aberdeen to win the Scottish Cup, given one half of the old firm was out of the competition, and he said, "But there's going to be 6 other managers thinking that as well. We have to focus on our job." Well, if that was us being focused on our job, then fuck me. I can't wait to see what it's like when we don't focus.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I suppose when he came in for that Livingston game, he'd had 3 days with the team. And then he's got a midweek game after that ahead of this weekend's game. So it's still not a lot of time on the training part to put your ideas into these players' heads. So it'll be interesting to see not only how the players bounce back in terms of mentality-wise going into next week, but also what they can get done on the training part, the new ideas, tactics, things like that. But just so done, Glenn, so done. We've not even spoke properly about how bad that defending was for the third goal either.
No, and I mean, it came after a brief kind of, I don't even know what you want to say, spell.
Of about 9 minutes or something.
Yeah, we were getting the ball into the box, but nobody looked interested on getting on the end of it. The one time it did look a bit threatening, Niall McGinn fresh-aired, swiped the ball, and Dean Campbell threw in a great delivery from a free kick, but Tommy Hoban probably should be doing better and getting his head on that and getting it on target. But Ryan Edwards, I think it was, defended that really well and put it out for a corner. But when you look at that sort of dangerous delivery into that and you're not hitting the target from that, it's pretty frustrating. But then at the other end, the link-up play between Harkes and McNulty was something else, and so was the finish. But once again, it's 6s and 7s defensively from Aberdeen.
You know who we've to blame for Mark McNulty's performance today?
Don't say Michael.
No, Jack Grimmer. Because remember he said,
"Oh yeah,
he's not scored yet." I'm surprised about that. Jack, if you're listening, if you're tuning in, I'm blaming you, mate. 100%. Also, go back and listen to that. It's probably more entertaining than watching Aberdeen. You should probably do that.
Yeah.
But no, total car crash at the back. As you mentioned, Consign towing a truck or whatever it was. It was the same again. Tommy Hoban as well, foot stuck in the mud. It was horrible. Totally dreadful. A performance to forget. One all round, essentially. You can probably tell in the way I'm speaking how I'm feeling about it.
Fed up. And probably folk are fed up listening to us moan about. Yeah. And, we wanted to kind of get on and do a reaction video to today's performance. We've not done it in a while because we've not felt it needed to be done, but just the manner in how this has come about and how really the only chance, our last chance of silverware has been ended is really frustrating. But as Calum said, we'll do our Livingston preview later on in the week and get that out once we've calmed down a bit from another disappointing Scottish Cup exit.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be feeling a bit more chirpy going into that. Make sure to subscribe on the YouTube channel with notifications so you know exactly when that goes out, and the Cammy Smith interview that'll come later as well. Be sure to
leave your thoughts as well. Why not? Because we quite enjoy hearing the contrasting thoughts on YouTube or at Twitter at RTG_podcast.
100%. Don't forget to follow us there and wherever you're listening, if you are doing that too. Thanks for tuning in. Go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.